Okay, so guys, welcome back. It's been quite a while since I spoke to you and update you. My account balance is about where we left off actually, but something has changed fairly recently in terms of how I'm tracking my trades and everything. So I was previously noting down my entries and also exit points on a Google Sheets simple sheet page, and it wasn't that effective for me. And now what I've done, I've came over to Notion, which is free, and it's just a lot easier to see my performance over like a month, let's say. But one thing I need to focus on more of, which I did quite a while ago, but I sort of drifted away from it, was more focusing on the process rather than the actual profit or loss in each trade and also over a month, right? Because the way you get confidence in your system and the way you understand if you're a good trader or not is by if you're making mistakes in your trading plan and if you're following it correctly. Because if you're following it without making a single mistake, then you know that plan is the issue, not you, if that makes sense. So you can adjust the plan in order to fix those issues, but you can never find that out if it's actually you're making the issue or the plan is the issue if you keep making mistakes. If you keep making mistakes, the plan could work, but you just can't discover it yet. So you don't actually know if it needs to be changed or not. That's why it's super important to not make mistakes while in this sort of process, because you need to properly be able to understand if your system works. Now, one of the seniors actually fairly recently shared a podcast with a lot of people in the community, which is called How to Become the Trader You Wish You Were. And it's called Futures Trader 71. Now, that is the name of the trader. And it's a podcast by Chat with Traders. It's on Spotify, but it's also on YouTube. And this got released nine years ago, I think it is. Yeah, 9 years ago it's got released. So it's quite an old podcast, but it still has a lot of relevancy. So it's an hour and a half long. And the beauty of this, actually, because it's on Spotify as well, I just downloaded it on my phone. And during my work, there's a couple hours in the early hours of the morning where we're doing like delivery and stuff like that. So it allows me to put earphones in and just listen to the podcast. So it's like almost me time in that point, and I can really focus on any trading podcast I'm going to listen to. And this is definitely one that got recommended to me. So yeah, within this podcast, if you haven't already heard about it, it's basically talks about the progression to be a trader, but also how where a lot of traders get it wrong, and they focus more on profit and loss rather than if they're making mistakes or not, and if they're sticking to their plan. And I do agree with that a lot. And there's a lot of other people that I speak to who are experienced traders who that's like a common thing I hear coming up quite a lot. When you hear successful traders speak about their journey to become successful, they speak a lot about focusing on the process and going through the motion of trading rather than focusing on winning and losing, because that doesn't really matter. And it's obviously a lot harder, a lot easier said than done, I would say. But even still, it's very important I do it. So anyway, this is my recap of June that you can see on the screen. This is it. So if that's what you wanted to know, you can already click off this video because I've revealed it. But I will go through each of these and discuss about them. And the last trade in Euro AUD, spoiler alert ahead of time, I closed it early at 0.2% loss instead of the usual 1% loss because it was a big mistake and I should have never been in that trade in the first place, basically, right? So as you can see here, what I've done is 1%. So that's either the win or loss. So if it's win, it's gain 1%. And that will change depending if it is a longer holding trade. And I also have no mistake, no mistake, mistake, no mistake, and mistake. And as you can see, the two losses, both mistakes, these were mistakes. This wasn't a mistake, this was still a loss. But the no mistake ones both wins. Now, it's obviously too early on to say if that's a coincidence or not, but this is what I would want to see in the long term, is that when I make mistakes, it makes me lose because I shouldn't be doing it. And when I follow it correctly, I should win more often than not. Obviously, it's It is probabilities, but over a longer term trend, that is what I would like to see. So I really do like Notion. I have to admit, I've only had it for about a week now, but I've filled in all these trades now. So as we go on here, if we go to July, I haven't taken any trades yet. I didn't take any trades this week. This week was a bit rough, I have to admit, because first of all, we had 4th of July, which is a big holiday in America. So it's a bank holiday on this Friday. And also we had NFP a day earlier, which on the Thursday, because of that bank holiday. And it's also the first week of the month. So it's a bit of a mess about in terms of the trading. So I didn't really get any setups. I was looking for quite a few, but nothing really played out for me. So I just didn't enter. It's as simple as that. So let's go on to the first trade here, which is Euro AUD. And this was a loss and it was no mistake. So the one thing I need to see is if the daily bias is in line with me, right? And I took a long in this position and it is in line with me. Even though we did get this sharp move down here, my daily bias at this point is up to come and tap this white line I have marked. So that is all good. If we go into the 4 hours now, this is my structure. So I clearly have an uptrend here moving up very nicely. And I got another corrective structure, which I could see. I got in a 618 pending order. My stop loss was below here. Even if I moved it below here, guys, it wouldn't have made a difference. So before you say anything, because this actually did eventually come down and take all of these out before going up. And that basically made a bigger correction in itself. But I obviously couldn't have known that. And I meant to take the next trade. And that's what I did. So this was a trade which was correct. This is a good trade. It's very clear structure to me. I had an impulse. I had a correction and another impulse. Tagged me in. Looking at minimum first take profit here. And obviously my bigger bias was all the way, if I can click on this, my higher time frame bias was all the way up around about this level here. But none of them got touched because it's a loss. So if we look at after, as we can see, it fell all the way down, tagged me out. And this actually did, even though it gave a reaction here, it did come break this as well after. Yeah, this took me out, but didn't give me any more buy setups after that, I do believe. So that loss I'm okay with because I followed my plan, sorry, and that is exactly what I did, and that is good. So that actually is a good trade to take. Now, next one, gold, everyone's favorite pair. If we look at the daily, I do have a complete structure here for my up move. So I'm expecting this to go break this top one more time. So the bias up is definitely good here. That's what I wanted. So that is in line. If we go on the 4 hour again, we have a big push up here after that structure is complete. I have higher lows, higher highs, and we are moving up. So this market, this entry was a bit dodgy because I got tagged in market open on Monday. I had the pending order set on Friday evening because it's a valid setup for me. I knew that Monday was going to be when it got tagged in when I was asleep, basically. So I took this picture actually probably just before I went to work in the early hours because it was 4:10 when I took the picture. So yeah, it was quite early in the morning UK time. But I got tagged in the trade overnight. This is my structure here for my impulse up correction. I was looking for another push up. Now, this push up I was looking for, my first take profit was going to be here. Second one over here, right? That was my bias. So what it did, if we go on after, it came up to that level. So I took 50% off at this point. So 50% I closed and that made me a 1% profit, right? So I've still got 50% in at this point because I'm targeting the higher level. I want to let my winners run and obviously close losers out. So I had to let this run this entire time. And after it took 50% off of me, it reversed and slowly started coming down. I held this for about 2 weeks. It was a very, very long time to hold this. And the issue with gold, it has quite high negative swaps. So I actually had to move my stop loss from break even all the way up to here because of this, but it wouldn't have made a difference either way because gold did actually eventually, if I'll zoom in on here, what gold did, it came all the way up here like that and came all the way back down like this, which I think has made this structure instead, which now I still do believe again it's going to come take this top again. So also coming into next week, I'm still going to be looking for more buy setups on gold. That's the second trade. Now this one was a loss and this was a mistake. So that's very important. It was a mistake. So if I look at the daily, what is my daily time frame bias? It's upside, right? I have this massive complete flat here. I have this complete flat, and this is my correction, push, correction, push. This is my sharp down, which there actually is another correction in here. I just didn't mark it out, which is a similar one to this one here. So I actually am biased for this to go break this top at this point, right? That's what my bias is. And I tried to sell it, even though my bias was more upside. So that is the mistake. That's the mistake in this scenario, right? Even though I was trying to get a bit cheeky and sell it for this bigger structure, which I was seeing, it was risky doing it. And what I really should have done is wait for it to come down without me and then look for my buy setups instead. So I should have let it come down. I could look for my buys to take it up, because that is my daily bias, which I didn't follow. And that's the mistake. That is the key area which I need to be focusing on. Even though the 1 hour was fairly clear, it was a very, very risky trade. And obviously I lost because of it. So after, as you can see, it ignored me and just kept going and kept trending to the upside, which is fine because, hey, you live and you learn, you know? Next one on the 17th, which was Euro AUD. Go on the daily time frame. And this one wasn't actually any mistakes. And this was a sell. And the reason I sold it is because I have this complete corrective structure for this impulse down for more downside, basically, right? That's what I'm looking at. So this is in line with my daily bias, even though it is pushing up slightly on the daily, it is biased for my overall move. So it's a lot easier to see here. This is my structure I see with my correction in the middle here. And I am looking for a push down and any moves down to go break this low here, basically. So if we go on the 1 hour time frame, we have obviously a push down, correction, push down, correction, push down. So we're obviously trending to the downside here, as we can see. And it gave me another correction. So I sold it, 618, pending order, stop here. And it did push down quite nicely. If you go on the after, what you can see here, actually, it came down 272. And that is where I got 50% off of my trade. So as you guys know, I was leaving the other 50% running because of that higher time frame bias that you can see. This take profit is going completely off the screen, but unfortunately it didn't do that. You know, it's good. It's good. It gave me some profit because I could move to break even, and then it just simply reversed. And actually, even at this point, I believe this kept going up a little bit more. I'm not sure if it broke this top or not, but it did keep pushing against me. But it was still a good trade, no mistakes there, and I got a little bit of profit. So onto the final one. Now, this one I need to explain myself a little bit, because obviously I'm a big believer of when I get in a trade, I should probably just stay in it and just see it through to the end sort of thing, and just sort of grit my teeth and just deal with it and accept the consequences. But I didn't see a reason for that, because I wanted to turn a new leaf in terms of sort of the quality of my trades and what I'm really looking for. So as you can see, daily bias was bearish, right? Bearish. So I did sell. Technically, that is in line because of this structure I see here. Oh, sorry about that. I blinded you for a second. But the issue I have is it didn't come to a value of interest. And my value of interest, or my area of interest, is above this white line here. It came very close to it, given, but it didn't actually give me what I wanted. Actually, it's actually a good example here. This is actually where I took that previous trade, the sell. This is the sell I took, and then it reversed against me, gave a correction, kept going without me. So it actually did break this top. But I really do want to see this area get taken, because there's, in my opinion, a lot of liquidity around this area waiting almost. But if it was above this area, this would have been a very, very nice trade to take, to be honest. And the reason I closed early, I'll show you it, because basically, again, like I said, I shouldn't have really been in it because it didn't come to area of interest for me. And it has been messing around in this area for about a week now. It's still in this area and it's insane. I don't actually know what it's doing. If we go on the charts actually right now, I'll show you. Go on the 2 hour. This is the trade I was talking about. So this is Friday. And it's currently Friday today. It's literally stayed here for a week now. And that's, and when I'm talking about a move, which would be on the bigger degree, which would be a push, like it should be down like this, You do not want to see this because it's showing that sellers aren't here. I want sellers to be here. Sellers should show themselves to me because they should be in the market pushing this down, correcting up, pushing down, That's what I want to be seeing. But this is telling me that sellers aren't interested, right? So yeah, I am biased for it to come take this level before I look for any more sells on this pair. Gold, let me think on gold. So on gold, I have this expansion flat, and I also am looking for more buys. Any buys to the upside, definitely be interested in taking. Pound yen, now this is a weird one. We go on the daily, I can actually explain a little bit better. So my last push down on the daily is from here to here, and I'm looking for price to come take this level one more time before any more sells, because I have this is my big corrective structure. This is my impulse, and this is my other impulse here. So I want it to come break this level here before I look for any sells. So because of that, I can still look for buys at the moment, right? And what I've been looking at actually is this corrective structure for this sort of structure. And I was actually waiting for it to come about here. I wanted this to come a little bit further down than where it did react from. But if this does give me a push up, which it has done, and now if it gives me a corrective structure that I can visibly see, I'll definitely be buying anywhere around this level to take it up to at least the 200 level on the pound yen. Euro US dollar, again, more bias upside. This is where I tried to sell the other day. I tried to sell at around about here. It was around about this level. I tried to sell it when clearly the bias is up. So that was a big no-no. I should definitely not have been doing that. So guys, in terms of how I've been, really, I would say my psychology in terms of trading and self-belief is going down a little bit, but I'm finding ways to pick myself back up. And the way I'm doing that is now more than ever is trying to just focus on the process, because as soon as I start focusing on if I care if I win or lose or anything like that, it sort of prevents you executing your edge properly. And I think that's one thing I've struggled with quite a lot, to be honest, over the years I've been doing this, is trusting my plan fully and following it fully. I need to be able to execute it without any hesitation or without any change of mind, because the worst thing that could happen is I fail this FTMO account. And to be honest with you, I think if I fail it, that actually might be a good thing. Well, I mean, even if obviously passing's better, but failing it wouldn't be that bad. I think what would be bad is if I stay in the limbo more, to be honest with you. I think passing or failing it is a good thing in this scenario. Let me get up my actual FTMO account on the dashboard and we'll go have a look at it quickly before I end the video. It's not really that much different to last time, warning ahead of time. So here we are on the dashboard again. And as you guys can see, we're up 3.85%. Now that's not bad, obviously up 4%. Not too shabby at all. But obviously, as you guys know, this account's been going way too long now. And I just need to get on with it, very basically. And the way I'm going to do that is simply stick to my plan, stick to my rules, and yeah, stick to my targets. I think that's the main thing, because one thing I actually show you on EU, if you guys remember, I was actually in a buy from this level here. I bought this for this structure. This is my structure. I bought it. And my first take profit is about here. I got first take profit, made 1% on it, right? Which is all nice. My second take profit was actually this level here. And as you guys can see, it's actually came and taken it. But I was not in this trade because my mind didn't allow me to hold it. My plan told me to hold it, but I couldn't hold it for some reason. And that is what I need to fix, because in these scenarios, when the market is going in my favor and I could have easily made 5 or 6% on this one trade, right? I just couldn't hang on to it. I think that's a very, very bad thing, because that's obviously not what you want. It's obviously not what you want, because if you can't hang on to the winners, then what are you really doing? Because your winners need to outweigh your losers. I can hang on to a loser. I can just watch it come hit my stop loss. It's quite easy to do. But watching a trade get close to your take profit when you've been in this scenario, when you've been in this FTMO account for so long, it's a bit hard to let those winners run and truly trust it's going to hit your area which you want it to. But I'm at the point now where I would rather let it reverse on me than break a rule, to be honest with you, because I really do think sticking to my rules at this point is what's going to make me a trader. I just need to stick to it, fully commit, not break any rules. So that's what we're going to be focusing. Going on forwards now, guys. Going on forwards, any updates I do, the main focus is going to be if I made any mistakes in terms of did I break my rules? Did I break my plan? And if so, why did I do it and how I can fix it for next time? Because it's not about profit and loss. It's about making sure I maintain the same way I trade consistently over a long period of time. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I appreciate you stopping by. It means the absolute world to me. Obviously, I know I haven't uploaded a lot on this channel, but it's been, I have to admit, it's been a little bit nice not having to update every single week and just focus on my trading rather than worry about what people are going to say about the trades I've taken, because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, right? I'm doing this because some people may be interested, and some people might be going through a similar journey as well and want to relate to it. So keep strong up there if you're in a similar situation. And also, if you're a profitable trader, I'm coming for you. I'm going to take your spot soon. So watch out. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.